all the Ferraris I've been fortunate enough to drive doing this thing I call a job, there's one I bang on about more than the rest. That car is the 430 Scuderia. It's a perfect blend of rawness, noise and involvement, while having enough mechanical tech to not feel totally antiquated, and for me at least, it's more than fast enough. But not for everyone. For some people, the draw of 7 or even 800 horsepower in Ferrari's latest models is hard to pass up once it's been experienced, and in pure numbers, the Scud has been left in the dust. But this isn't just your ordinary 430 Scuderia.
On the outside, this looks like any other black 430 Scuderia. In here, it feels completely standard as well. And if you have a poke around the engine bay, you need to know what you're looking for to know that this isn't a standard car. It all looks so factory. But in 2009, this car went over to Novitec Rosso in Germany, where it had 66,000 euros worth of supercharger fitted. It feels like a standard car as well. It runs super smooth, it's not lumpy, but it has 746 brake horsepower, 544 foot-pounds of torque, which, fun fact, is near enough a GI Yaris over a standard Scud. It's more power than a 488 Pista, so it brings it right up to date in terms of performance. And in 2009, the only production car which had more power than this was a Bugatti Veyron. Being rear-wheel drive and weighing less than 1,400 kilos, I imagine it's going to be a bit of a wild ride. Oh my god. Didn't think it was going to be that wild. Outrageously fast. You can't hear the supercharger, it just sounds like a Scud that's like a really aggressive Scud. The revs just rise so quickly compared to the standard car. What's amazing though, even on these sort of semi-greasy roads, is you can hear it hopping and skipping a little bit, but traction for the amount of power, and to say that the car wasn't meant to have that much power, is pretty amazing. Oh, the gearbox. Every time I drive one of these, I remember why I love that single clutch gearbox. It just feels like a sequential, the way it bangs into gear. And of course, unlike with a turbocharger, you don't lose any noise. I mean, now the owner did tell me that the brakes don't feel quite up to the job of the extra power because they are the standard ceramics from back in the day. And yeah, you do have to press them quite hard. They're not bad, but I feel like you have to think about when you're going to brake, when you're deploying all that power. The great thing is though, despite all that power, which you obviously can't really deploy that often on roads like this, you can actually drive it at kind of whatever speed you want. It's not scary. I kind of thought it would be. But with your right foot, or the amount of revs that you use, it can be as fast as you want it to be. So driving like this now, we're still getting plenty of noise, but we're not lighting up the rears, I'm not going too fast. But it's still just an awesome experience. And then when you do get the room to, it just takes your breath away. That's what I just love about the Scud, is it's exciting at any speed, but it has more modern tech than the Challenge Stradale, so the gearbox is so much better. Handling, well, it's standard Scud because it is standard Scud. There are no suspension changes, and that's a good thing. It means the steering is hydraulically assisted, it feels awesome, and it's super linear, not like the more hyper alert modern Ferrari systems, which, yeah, they mean the cars are super direct. But I just like how natural this feels. And again, the car isn't as stable as a modern Ferrari, but it contributes again to not having to be absolutely flying to feel excitement from the car. It's just so nice, but I just didn't expect it to be so drivable. I mean, it is stupidly powerful, but it doesn't feel like a big tuner car. It feels like a whole cohesive package. It just works. The rest of the car can live with that power. What must that have felt like in 2009? Now, the owner actually bought this car to put back to standard, but then he drove it, probably pulled some stupid faces like I just did, and thought, no, it has to stay as it is. So he's on the lookout for a normal Scud to go alongside it. And I can see why. If I had a Scud, would I do this to it? Well, no, probably not, because I think the standard power is plenty. But I cannot deny that this Supercharger just takes it to another level. It is an outrageous experience.
Not really sure what I expected from a 430 Scuderia with more power than a 488 Pista, but whatever it was, this car way exceeded it. It maintains everything that is so great about the Scud, but it just turns it up to 11, or even 12. I mentioned that I couldn't think of a drawback, and that's very nearly true, but opportunities to go flat in this car are pretty few and far between on British roads, where you can really wring the neck of a standard Scud, and that's where so much of the fun of driving is for me. That said, if you want all the performance of a modern supercar but feel they've lost some soul, you need one of these. It's criminal that this car sat in storage for a decade after the conversion, but its new owner intends to make amends for that. Huge thanks to him for lending us the car today. I think it's safe to say he's in for some seriously exciting miles.